What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're out here doing some early fall fishing. This is summer, the fall transition. It's still a little early, but I want to get into kind of the high percentage baits and what to look for when you're fishing out here to catch more bass in the fall. So stay tuned. So guys, it's just really starting to cool off down here in the southeast. We're in North Alabama. And what does this mean? Man, this means that the summer lull of fishing where it's been super tough, it is about to fire up and your fishing is about to get great. What I love about this time, fall time, is you can do just a huge variety of different things to catch fish. And so in this video, I'm obviously gonna leave out some things because literally you can pick up anything in your tackle box and you can catch fish, whether it be a worm, whether it be shad oriented, whether it be crawfish oriented. This is just a period where junk fishing is key. And so I'm going to highlight what I like to do this time of year, some of the baits, some of the areas that I choose to fish. And keep in mind, guys, everything that I'm going to be doing this time of year, like 90% of the time, is going to be shad oriented. I'm going to be chasing balls of bait, using moving baits to find these fish. For the most part, this is what they're going to be feeding on, mostly is shad this time of year. There's just something about the cooling of the water really turns on that shad bite. And these shad get all condensed in these big bait balls. So it just makes it easier for these fish to find them once they locate them, because it's like all the shad are condensed in small locations. So starting out, one of my favorite baits is gonna be the chatterbait. You all, I'm sure, have your favorite brands, but my favorite is this Mini Max. I believe Z-Man makes it, but this thing's just very small profile. It comes to the grass goods. It's very subtle compared to like a Thunder Cricket or a jackhammer, but my second choice of chatterbait would definitely be the jackhammer, just because of how aggressive it is. But I like the well, if I can catch it, I like the subtlety of this little Mini Max chatterbait, and I like that little spunk shad on the back by Missile Baits. You can target grass lines, you can target riprap, bank, laydowns, anything with this. Heck, you can even target open water fish with your live scope. About a month ago, I was fishing a tournament, and I caught about a 4-pounder out here chasing bait balls, just threw out here in the open. Barely twitched the chatterbait and boom, there he was. But yeah, the chatterbait, I mainly throw it, if I'm fishing grass or any kind of cover vegetation. Another good one that I love is the crankbait. Any shallow mid-diving crankbait. This is a DT6, my favorite. This Helsinki shad, it's my favorite color. Like I said, I'm gonna keep everything bait oriented, bait color oriented. We've got this is my mid diving box. There's a couple colors I like, the Helsinki shad, like I said. I like this parrot color. I think this one shines whenever there's a little bit of stain to the water, if it's muddy. That chartreuse belly, blue back, I really like that. And then this is the big shad by Rapala. And if you can't tell, I like Rapala crankbaits. But as far as the DT6 that goes, and then also the square bill is, man, it's hard to beat a square bill. So we'll open up our square bill box. This is the BX wrap. I think it's a bone color, maybe it's called bone, but that thing's legit. And just your typical gizzard shad crankbait. These things are going to be killer in the fall time. Most people, including me, are going to rely heavily on electronics this time of year to locate these bait fish. And another thing, obviously everybody knows, fall time, Topwater is insane. If you're on a grass lake like I am right now, I really like to target, if I'm on the Tennessee River right now, so anywhere I'm at, I really like to target upriver on these lakes where it turns into the river and gets real current oriented. It's like, I don't know, these fish just tend to be up in the river this time of year where the grass is growing right up against the edge of the channel edge. And I love a buzz bait. Normally, since it's cloudy, I'd be throwing like a black trailer on this, but right now, like, I'm seeing a ton of bait pop right here beside the boat. And so if there's bait in the area, especially in the fall, there's gonna be bait. So I like the white trailer, and I don't use a skirt, and I don't like the clicker. I don't know what brand this is, to be honest. I just pick, if I'm out in the store somewhere like Academy, I just pick one that don't have a clicker. And you really want a loud thumping buzz bait, but I think that clicker just does too much. But yeah, buzz bait is killer. If you're on an open body lake, anywhere really, a walking bait is gonna be hard to beat, especially if you're on like a blueback herring lake, chasing these schools of bass. It's gonna be hard to beat. Another bait that's hard to beat is the fluke. I mean, I like to do this little belly weight, and I always go real small. I think this is like an 1/8 ounce belly weight. But man, anytime you're trying to imitate shad, especially like topwater instance, if you see fish blowing up or anything of that matter, and they won't commit to the hard bait or the walking bait, whatever you're throwing, this is going to be a little more subtle, and you can throw it in there and you can really get some fish to commit to biting this thing, because it's super subtle, imitates a shad perfectly, that little darting motion that it gives. You can fish it weightless, you can fish it with a weight. There's a lot of different ways to rig it, but you know, this is a great bait that I've always got tied on in the fall. Fishing it under floating docks is awesome, especially if you're on like Smith Lake or one of those spotted bass lakes where they chase blueback herrings. This thing's hard to beat. Another one that I like is the jerk bait. The Berkeley Stun has been my favorite. Started throwing this thing last fall and had a lot of luck on it in the fall and in the winter time, especially on Guntersville. They were chewing this. I gotta throw on that thing. Interrupted by that fish. But anyways, I believe this is a hanky panky color, and this is the 112. I like to do the smaller, shallower diving jerk baits. Really keep it over the tops of these fish. It seems to really ignite that bite a lot more when you're on top of them versus under them with the 112+1. But yeah, and guys, something that I'm not super comfortable doing. I've really only gotten on the minnow bite a couple times, you know, just because I kind of neglect my electronics in the wintertime. I like to go throw a jig or just fish off instinct with a jerk bait or something. And so something that I'm needing to get into is the old Demiki rig. This thing, it's undeniably good. It has wrecked them the last couple years since Live Scope has been getting big. And I just got that little, I think that's a Hot Shot minnow by Exxon. It's actually designed for a drop shot, but I just rigged it up today on this Demiki head, and that thing looks killer. But you know, same thing with this, and like the jerk bait, you want to keep it light, keep it above their head for the most part. But you know, I can sit here and tell you how to fish it all I want, but at the end of the day, it's just going to matter what those fish are telling you. You know, if you got Live Scope, you can watch how the fish react. You know, if you're keeping it above their heads and they're not interested, you know, maybe get it closer to them. I don't know. You'll know. You guys are good fishermen. You'll figure it out. You honestly probably know more than me about it, because I am not a live scoper, but it's undeniable. I mean, you can't deny that it works, guys. So like I said, you're gonna want to use shad-oriented, bait-oriented lures. At least that's how I do it. That's how I've had the most success. But that's not to downplay the Texas rig or the jig or anything. You can absolutely still catch fish doing those things. And I might actually probably gonna throw those today and catch them, because you know it's not fully fall yet. You're gonna want to wait till those nights are getting consistently cool. That's really gonna ignite this bite. You know, it's still been hot. This is the first day of the cool front coming in, and still it's like 79 degrees, but it just hasn't been consistent. So this bite is really gonna fire up here soon, and I'm looking forward to it, guys. But when I went up there and threw on that fish just a second ago, there was bait everywhere on the Live Scope. So I'm about to go ahead and end this and try to catch a couple while they're still here. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you got any questions or comments, let me know down in the comment box below. And if I left out any baits that you absolutely recommend this time of year, please let me know. I would love to learn from you guys. So make sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.